Tree. Hi. Hi, guys. Mm, Hi, Milayo. How are you? I don't know if people still remembered we are meeting today, but we're supposed to meet Saturday. But then I have something to do over the weekend. Um, Hi. Want to see if we can wait a little bit and see if people will join in. Maybe they forgot we are meeting today. I'm supposed to post about it. Oh, this is your first time joining. Welcome. No, normally, we always have it on Saturday and Sunday, but I wasn't available this weekend. So I decided that, okay, since today is public holiday here in Canada, I could also do it today. But looks like people forgot. Hi. Anyways, uh, let me just, since you are here and you're joining for the first time, I was like, okay, if I open it and people did not join, I was going to go about my activity. But um, since you're here, I just let's just do something. At least I don't want your first being in vain. So let's just start. I guess maybe they forgot. I guess, and I should have made a post about it. But I've been so busy over the weekend. Okay, let's do this number 39. It looks more like what some people would usually ask in their maybe either speaking or writing or especially speaking class, speaking task. So can you hear me clearly? I'm not using headset. I don't even know where my headset is. I think it should be in my work bag. Hmm. Okay, so let's start. Oh, I was audible. I thought I wasn't audible, but I already have headset headset now. So let's start. This is part one. So I intended to do part one too. Jules, your question. For me, I wouldn't say it's more difficult, but I would say it's more lengthier than, for instance, in Celpip exam, what you will meet, each paragraph will not be this short. They might be like these two paragraphs joined together will be one of the paragraph. In terms of difficulty, I wouldn't say like I really, mm, but everybody's experience differs, right? And then what people consider difficult is kind of relative. So what people consider difficult is kind of relative. So I wouldn't say it's difficult, but the thing is, no matter how difficult you think Celpip is, it's just you knowing a strategy that works for you. If you know a strategy that works for you should be able to apply it to any question. And that's what I tell people, like, if you are using a strategy, doesn't necessarily mean it's what I'm using here. You can watch it elsewhere, but whatever it is that you decide to apply, especially for reading or even listening, you you should stick to it. You should be able to apply it, or all part of self-pip actually. You should be able to apply it to any question. The moment you're not able to apply it to any question, then it's not a strategy. A strategy is something that, so that when you see any question in exam, you should be able to apply it. People that feel like self-pip is hard, for me, are people that are practicing based on luck. If you're practicing based on luck, what I mean by practicing based on luck is you practice now, maybe you practice today, and what you had today is probably you had out of 10 questions correct, and tomorrow you practice, you are having 5 out of 10 questions correct. The next day you're having 8 out of 12 questions, or it might be the same. Your scores are not consistent. That means you don't have a graph of solving. And some people, they don't they don't work towards achieving a consistent score before going to self-pip. They just, okay, since I've scheduled the exam, when that day reaches, yes, I've been practicing, but their results are not concerned, then they go and write self-pip. But that's not how self-pip works. You should be able to consistently achieve good results. I don't do one-on-one. Sorry, I'm not available. I'm even available on Monday today because it's public holiday here in Canada, in my province, in some provinces, which my province is part of it. So that's why I am doing it today, that is Monday. Apart from that, I only do it weekends because that's the only time I have chance. So I don't have the availability to do one-on-one with anybody. So let's start. But I've said so many long story for people that are joining us. Let me load this thing again. The question is 11-minute question. So I don't think it's clear for people on TikTok. Okay, this is better. I hope this email, dear Priya, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to ask your advice about finding house in Toronto. Since you have been living in Toronto for over 3 years now, I thought you might have some insight that will help me narrow down my search. I have been looking for I have been looking at apartments in both downtown core and some of the surrounding neighborhood. I was surprised to see how quickly listings get snapped up. Okay, I can stop it here. Also, I was wondering about the rental application process. I would appreciate any advice you can offer. Thanks in advance for your help. Warmly, Aiden. Please, in your exam, if you're writing email, don't write your email. This should be a mistake. Whatever you write, your name should be under here. Don't say because you saw it on Celpip that you will do your email like this. When you write maybe regards or sincerely, your first name or your full name, that if it's formal, the name you're using should be underneath. It shouldn't be like this. I just wanted to point that out. Anyways, that's how I would go through skim through my email. It gives me, I'm just explaining. Thank you. Thank you, Doguba Collins. I'm just explaining for people that are joining us for the first time. When I want to, because you don't have time, you have this is a 10 minutes question, right? So what you do is to run through the first. That's my own strategy. I run through the first line of it. That gives me, it's blurry. Sometimes TikTok is like that, and I don't want to start reloading the question over and over. You can go to YouTube. YouTube is much clearer, but I will reload it this once, but it will still go blur again. That's how TikTok is. I don't know why it always go blur. If you can go to YouTube, I don't know if you know my YouTube, Thrive with NG. Let me add it here. NG. So YouTube is more clearer. So let's start. So if you go through, it gives you See the way I read just those first line. I'm sure that everybody online or an idea of what is going. You already have an oversight of what is going on through all through read everything word to word, or even read like a lot to know what is going on in each paragraph. This first lady told you, oh, the reason why she's writing the email. This one is this first line told you the reason why she feels like her friend is the best reason. Here is why she was telling her friend why she is. So the first line alone will give you that insight. And then I also have an insight of where she wants to, where she's considering renting an apartment. This is now he's saying, oh, her what she's experiencing, like how house can be snapped up, like be taken away, like house that she sees that is up for listing right now. The next minute someone else has taken it. You know that okay, this is what she's going to be talking about in this paragraph. So that's how you kind of scheme. So because in Celpip Reading, if you know how to scheme or scan, scheming and scamming are the two tools you need to be able to what's it called, to go through your all part of your self-pip reading. So skimming is the first for you to have an overview, depending on, despite those opinions, you should have an idea of the question based on it, and it's not based on a single paragraph. So that's why I did that first skimming that I did with one line. I already know what this so I will now go straight to answering my questions. Aiden is writing this. I'm not going to be answering you guys because I'm not writing an exam. Edwin is writing primarily to Priya to invite her for coffee in Toronto, ask for help finding accommodation, tell her about his new job, complain about Toronto rental market. You guys, I'm going to be timing you guys now because this is the simplest part. You should be able to answer it in less than 1 minute. Let's do it like last week. When you want to drop, put number one, and then drop your response with the number, please. Uh-uh. You people are not answering. People, how many people do we have here? Let me see. Where can I see you people's name? Let me see. Fumilayo, Sheyi. Okay, okay. Sheyi Mary. Yeah, you are the one I call. Yeah, the person said B. People on TikTok, nobody answered. Well done. No. I'm going to be taking the fastest answer because in exam you don't have all the time to answer. Aiden needs to find housing by dash end of the month. Number one is C. Somebody said number one is C. Police by Belly. Why did you say number one is C? Anyways, we are it's blurry. Can you go to, if you're on TikTok, please go to YouTube. TikTok is always very blur and it will make me to be reloading the question over and over again. It will just go blur in a couple of minutes again. And it's not, I just reloaded it and it's still not clear. Please go to my YouTube and join through YouTube. I don't know why it's too blur today on YouTube or on TikTok. Anyways, we have answered this one. Number two, A, end of the month. Mary, can you, is it number two that you said end of that you chose A as the response? I wouldn't agree with you if no. Why did you choose end of the month? So let me just any other person want to answer. People, you're not dropping your responses today. Why? But anyways, for Mary, you chose A but I wouldn't go with A because if you read here, it says, and another thing I would like to point out is for part one of Celpip reading, your answers, your most of your question goes paragraph by paragraph. That is progressive. They ask you question as you're advancing. So most time you will not see you hardly see your number two question have the answer in the last paragraph. It will be progressing as the paragraph. Only sometimes you may be able to, like, sometimes they will not, they you may find the reason why you are writing in in the last paragraph, but most times it's always in the first one. That's the only um scenario where, sorry, can you tell me which line and which paragraph where Sheyi, your response, you said because she was saying she has to move in next month. Which line did you see that? Because in the line where I'm seeing, this is the line where I'm seeing. She said her job, my job starts on March 15th. I would like to be settled in at least a week before that. I will be moving there next month. We don't know what next month is. Do you know if next month, end of next month, end of the month, I'll be moving there next month to start my new job. So she said my job starts end of, so yeah, exactly. So I will say early March since her job starts in at least, so she would need it early March. That's what I would go for. Okay, someone said C. That's Mope Lola Jesu Lad. Okay, Mope Lola is fine. I don't need to call your full name. Okay, which of the following is a concern for aiding the reliability of public transportation, the location of his new place, the cost of living in Vancouver, the quality of apartment in Toronto? So for you to like answer this question, you guys can tell me your response anyways, but you should also, like, I'm just saying this because of the people joining us for the first time, you should also like always know your keyword. For instance, now for this one, you know that your keyword is concern. You might not see concern directly in your book, that, oh, what is Aiden's concern? And for me, I would, sorry, okay, one is A, reliability of transportation. Okay, of public transportation. I'm a bit concerned. Okay, this particular place they use concerned as the keyword, but in the exam also know that, like I told you, this is the keyword. I wanted to mention it so that you know that, okay, I, for every question to trace your answer, you should have a keyword you are answering with. Okay, people are already responding on. Are you guys seeing Ngodi Chisom? Are you seeing this thing clearly on TikTok? Because like, it's very blurry. I wonder how you guys are really seeing the answers. Yeah, but I agree with the people that said three is A because I'm a bit concerned about commute time if I have to be too far because of, yeah. Oh, okay. So let's move. But is it number three you chose B? If it's number three, I don't think B is correct. Although she was mentioning where she was looking for, but that I have heard good things about Liberty Village too, but I'm a bit concerned. You see where she said, I'm a bit concerned about the commute time if I live too far away from financial district. So her concern is commute place, is commute time. That's why where she has from the financial district, we didn't know. So it's not the location per se, but the reliability of commute and how she would be able to move around like to the job if you read it, but I'm not sure how reliable it is. So Aiden mentions that he dash has already secured temporary housing, missed an opportunity for an apartment, has arranged to meet with the rental agent, plans to live with roommates. Okay, someone already answered B. Yeah, which I agree, and it's in the next paragraph. Remember, I told you that your questions are kind of progressive for this part one, where he said, I was surprised to see how quickly things get snapped up. I inquired about a cute one bedroom on Queen Street West, yes, on Queen Street West yesterday, and it was already gone by the time the agent called me back this morning. So yeah. Aiden is worried that, why is he worried? His budget is too low for Toronto. He won't be able to provide necessary references. The commute from Liberty Village would be too long. Priya might be too busy to help him. Mokbelola, is it okay? Yeah, okay. You just answered this one. Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to be agreeing with Mokbelola. She said B, which is here, when she was talking about the fact that she has always been with the rental process and she has always lived with her parents. And here that she's worried if she will be able to about the reference. I do not have a recent reference. Do you think it will be a problem? So that's what she's worried about. Aiden is considering dash staying with Priya temporarily, finding a short-term rental initially, commuting from Vancouver for the first month, asking his parents to co-sign his lease. Number 6. Yeah, 6 is B, and I guess you saw the answer here. Do you think I should just book an Airbnb for the first 6 months, for the first month, and look for something permanent once I'm there? So find short-term rental initially. So let's continue. Hi, Aiden. Glad to hear from you. I'll be happy to dash with your housing search, provide you references, help you move in with you, connect you with my landlord. This one should be easy. You guys, let's see if we can finish this part. We are even now this part. Yeah, help you. Okay. Your budget of your budget of 1,800 is actually dash for a decent one bedroom, especially if you are willing to look outside the core. Is actually way too low, barely enough, quite reasonable, extremely generous for a decent one room, especially if you are willing to look outside the core. So, which one do you feel is is more is most suitable to fit in the option? A, B, C, D. Is it A or B or C or D? I don't think it's barely enough. I think it's quite reasonable. Yeah. Had it been she was looking, that they said she was looking at the core, then it will be barely enough. It's actually quite reasonable for a decent one room apartment. I feel this is what is more. So this is the reason. So like if you read this sentence now, your budget of 1.8 is actually dash for a decent one room, especially if you are looking outside the core. That means outside the core is outside like the busy area. Outside the core is like where people are concentrated. So if she wants to look out, then she's trying to tell her that 1,800 is actually reasonable. Especially this is what changes it, especially if you are willing to look outside the core, that is where it's not where renting is not so expensive, where people don't really do stay in. Which is emergency. I wish I know this is enough for Toronto. I like but it's what I can manage. Honestly. So like outside the core, this is the core. But because if it's barely enough, if you say it's yeah, quite reasonable, it's just more suitable. Yeah. Um because if it's the core, you would just say it's yeah, that is yeah. So you have to like read almost make sure like you read your when you're filling in the gap, read your sentences to the end, where that sentence end. So that because sometimes you will see like something else will come up that would change your answer. Personally, I'd recommend Liberty Village. It is trendy. It's trendy, has good amenities, and the dash to the financial district is only oh they want to disconnect my TikTok. Like oh please can you guys help me like the TikTok? I forgot to have told you guys since morning so that they said I don't have an activity. I always forget to say oh like it going on it. So let me read that again. Personally, I'd recommend Liberty Village. It's trendy, has good amenities, and the dash to the financial is only about 20 minutes. The walk, the commute, the drive, the subway ride to the financial is only 20 minutes by streetcar. So what would go here? Confusing for this option. Oh, thank you, Temi. Thank you. It shows me the commute to financial district is only 20 minutes by streetcar. The drive, I'll go with what you guys go with, but like I'm just considering since it's a car, is it not drive? But transporting yourself, since she's going to is like commute if you're transporting yourself, like what go with it to be safe. But I'm also like, okay, streetcar. The way okay, the subway is generally reliable, but streetcars can be delayed during the snowstorm. Regarding your concern about having that furniture, many landlords will accept employment letters and bank statements instead. So this one is quite easy. B or C. Me and you both. B or C, like sometimes it's like that because it actually B or C for me, but you have to go with one. I can't see the screen, it's too small. Okay. If I reload this thing now for TikTok people, it's going to all the options. We're almost done. Sorry. Can you go to Folly? Can you go if you can see? Can you go to my YouTube? YouTube. It's much clearer. No, I don't think it's enough money because that's not where she has concern. Her concern is the fact that about rental history. It said most places seems to be facing. Since I've been living for the past to save money, I don't have landlord references. Do you think this will be a problem? Okay. But since he's saying bank statements, I think enough money. I think I will CEO, not CEO. Yeah, I guess that's not I said CEO, nothing. Many landlords will accept employment letter and bank statement instead. Okay. Okay. This okay. She also have worries. Most places seems to first know to save money. I don't have recent money. I do think this would be a problem. Oh. Shay, you said A for this one, right? Rental history. But the reason why I kind of agreed is because they now mentioned employment letters and bank statements. So, eh? But I don't know. Let's go on. Your new job at RBC will definitely help you. And yes, I think your idea to book an Airbnb first is smart. Did that advantage? Let's definitely meet when you arrive, Priya. Regarding your concern for not having living with my parents. Yeah, she has actually years to save money for the past year to save money. Yeah, that was actually my first option, but because not the CEO answered first, I went with him. So yeah, he has enough money from the already from the beginning. Yeah, that's actually his major concern because he has staying with his parents, so she actually does not have a rental history. So this one, oh, it's also blur for you people on YouTube. Let me reload this then. I don't know if it's my internet. Let me see which network I'm connected to. Okay, I'm connected to 5.0. So let's do this first. I will fill in the gap later. I just reloaded it. I don't know. TikTok is still very blur. People on YouTube, is it still blur? Okay. You guys answer this last one, or I'll just pick it because I just want to. And yes, I think the idea to book an Airbnb first is smart. The dash is so competitive and is so competitive that being here in person gives you an advantage. Let's definitely meet when you arrive. Yeah, rental market. So let me pick all the other answers that we picked before. I think we picked this. We picked early March, availability of public transportation. Mentioned which what did we pick here? Missed an opportunity to book an apartment. I think what did we pick? References, right? This was what we pick here. Then this one, what? Yeah. Then we picked again before he picked the answer. Hmm, I think we picked. Uh, no. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think that's all. So let me see. I'm looking. We are going. Okay, we had all this correct. So let's move on to the where it actually gets hard for some people, which is applying diagram. Mm, Window installation. Should we do something like this? Let's do. I hope it's difficult. It's difficult. It looks easy. I want to do something. I want something very busy that would stress us to use our critical thinking. I don't know if it's the questions that I just want something that looks challenging. Okay, let's use let's do no. Okay, we'll go back to that one. No. Ah, all this I'm saying now don't have a diagram. No. Why are all these ones not like diagram? Let's go back to that one I wanted to pick before. I don't. Okay, we can do this one. So this is a 9-minute question. Artisan book binding essential, a complete guide to traditional book binding. Basic tool required, book press equipment, material needed, basic wholesale schedule, location, contact information. Did I say wholesale or workshop? Workshop schedule, location, contact information. All tools and material available for purchase in our store. 10% for workshop participants. So always remember to read your footnotes. So I've gone through my diagram. This gives me an overview of how the diagram is organized, and that's what you're supposed to use 1 minute to go through your diagram. Just have an idea of what is located where. I'm just saying this for the first time. So question that has to do with tool, I will come this side. If I have question that has to do with equipment, book press equipment, I would come this side. If I have question about the materials needed, I will come this side. Any materials. Then the step. If I see questions that has to do with step, I will know exactly where to from beginning and start scanning and looking all over everything. If you don't know where to go, then you don't know how to manage your time. And time management is what SELP is all about. Then if you have question about workshop schedule, you should see it here. You will see it here. So that is it. So, but you make sure that you do that in 1 minute because you don't have all the time, or less than 1 minute, like I did it in less than 1 minute. Hi, Sarah. I'm excited about starting the book binding workshop with you next weekend. I have been looking at the materials list and I want to check a few things. For basic tools, I see we need dash for folding papers and creating crisp edge. So you already know where to go, right? To that financial, which was rental history. Oh, is rental history. Sheyi, sorry, I didn't see your question on time. Is rental history because that was what we later picked because I had to agree because she did have enough money because she has been saving money from staying with her parents. So it's not about like she didn't have enough money. So when the other person mentioned it, I was like, okay, yeah, I agree with what she was saying. And actually I was considering it too, but so this place, okay, let me go to tools. You already know where to. You see this one now for basic tools. Now you already know this question has to do with tools. Instead of you, for instance, even if it's not the first one, let's say it's actually the last thing here. You already know that. Oh, for basic tool, you already know where to go. Instead of you to start looking up and down. So for you would know your keyword. So for basic tools, that's the section you understand. For this part you need to identify your section. Once you identify your section where you are going to go look, then you have to identify a keyword that will now make you to pick because you have other list of things under that section. So you have to know the right one. So the keyword for folding paper and creating crisp edge. So these two, folding paper and crisp edge, is actually your keyword. Why the basic tool is the section you're going to go look. So I will just put it in basic tool so that you people would pick the answer. Okay, let me open the options for you. If you pick the answer, the next one I'm not going to tell you how to do it for people joining the first time. Someone said B. Okay, yeah, that's easy. It's actually easy because it was located first. So let's go. The supply store also mentioned we need dash for making holes signa- in the signatures. Okay. And Chisholm, that's the is actually correct. Um, yeah. Please, you two people be adding one A, two C, so that I will know which one, because when I see different people going for different things, I'm confused about which question you guys are answering. So yeah, it says for making this thing true. So when they say the supervisor we mentioned we need dash hole for making, you know that tools is actually used for making. You should also know that it's still in that same section and is already here. Making holes in signature is actually easy. So I was wondering about the presses. Remember we read a subtopic on press about the presses. Since I'm just starting out. Would you recommend I dash buying the one rather than buying one right away? Would you recommend I buy the corner press, rent a press, skip using a press, shared with others? Which one? Rather than buying one right away. 1 minute, 1 minute. You guys, one, two, three. This is actually very easy to pick. 3B. Mhm. Yeah, somebody said 3B. Yeah, and someone said rent TikTok. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because they already said if you don't buy, this is the cost. Let me for this one, this is the cost of. So if she's now going to right, buy one right away, that means the next thing she can do is to rent one first for the moment. Also, for the cover material, I noticed that, okay, this is where the sentence ends. Book cloth is more expensive than leather. Leather is the most expensive option, and decorative material is the most expensive. All options cost the same. So I already assume by now, you see, for the cover material, you know that you're going to material part, and that's why I put it in material part for you. So always, once you read the next question in your exam, ask yourself, what's the section, which section. In fact, before exam, as you are practicing, I don't know which material you're using or any question you may see more question, a question that is more complicated than this on this set test script too, or in the mock exam. So you always tell yourself, where is the section am I going to look, so that the moment you're going up and down, you don't know, and you don't have a strategy. So you should know the section you should be going to. So I noticed dash. Okay, I agree with Chisholm on TikTok. Yeah, leather is more. Yeah. Then I think I will start with decorative paper since it's more budget friendly. By the way, I can only attend dash. Would that be enough to learn the basics? Looking forward to your response. Best regard, Emma. Private lessons, Sunday afternoon, Saturday morning. weekend workshop. So which section should I go to? Let me ask you people, which section should I go to? Without me scrolling there first, which section? Calm down. Calm down, not the CEO. I said, which section should I take your material to based on what we read? We read all the subtopic of all the subheadings. And so which section should I scroll this the diagram to? Yeah, workshop schedule exactly. So let's see. By the way, I can only attend dash. Would that be enough for me to learn the basics? So this way, okay, I'm not starting from the beginning to look for things. Private lessons, Sunday afternoon, Saturday morning, weekend workshops. Oh, thank you, somebody. Sorry, I wasn't looking. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. 5. Okay, someone already said C. Thank you. Saturday morning, exactly. You see how you rush to say D without seeing the options. It's Saturday, but there's actually Sunday is part of weekend. So yeah, they are more specific. So let's see. The email suggests that Emma Dash is an experienced bookbinder, is teaching the workshop, is a new student, works at the supply store. You guys, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. One, see, okay, yeah, because she just wanted to join. It was actually starting about the workshop, and I started about starting the workshop. So she's new with you this weekend. The material list indicates that dash leather is sold by yard. Um, book board comes in 3 weights. All tools must be purchased. Presses can not be rented now. This is an inferential question. The person that said A for this one, why did you say A? That's polished. Why did you say A for that number one? It shouldn't be A. She's not experienced. She's just trying to learn. Remember, she's talking about the basics, to know the basics. So she's a beginner. 2 is B. Yeah, I agree. But here than square feet. Mm. Chisom, I don't understand, but yard and square feet, which is more? I don't know which is more. I don't understand your question. Can you explain what you're asking, what you're asking? So I would, for number 4, the first section. Oh, okay. Okay, let's finish. I'm coming. This one is this. The workshop schedule shows that dash. That's a good observation. I didn't know they were measured differently. This one is measured per yard, this one is measured per feet. That's actually a good observation. The workshop schedule shows that, sorry, beginners must take private class. Classes are held daily. Advanced classes are longer. Different skills meet on different days. Yeah, I agree with people that said D. Okay. So yeah, she so mentioned something and which is true. Like I want to say also the cover material. I noticed that leather is more, but I actually do not know what square feet is. Square feet. What's square feet? A square feet. Per yard. Per yard is 36 inches per square foot. I don't know how many inches it is. I know yard because I used to so much in Nigeria. So yeah, well, it's all 4 hours. Why D? No, we chose D. Okay, let me go back to that one. This one said this. We the workshop schedule shows that yes, it's all 4 hours, but we chose different skills. That is, skills means beginner skill, advanced skills meet on different days. This is actually an inferential question. That different skills meet on different beginner class meet on Saturdays, advanced class meet on Sunday. They are not talking about the hours. Yes, they are all 4 hours. We didn't choose that anyone is longer. This is the one. They are all 4 hours. So yeah, you are correct. They are all 4 hours, but we didn't. We are not choosing that they are all that one is longer. We chose this one. That beginner and advanced class meet on different days. Yeah. So Chisom, in exam, I may have to fail this one. I'm not say I don't get everything all the time because I don't actually know what make up square foot. Who knows if what make up square foot? So in exam, I will just go with this. This is what I will go with. I don't know what's I don't know how many inches is in square foot. So I would by know for yard, the yard is 36 inches. So I wouldn't know if this is, but it might not be so straightforward because some people like to set trap, right? But because I don't know it, and that is what in exam, say you come across this and you saw it quickly that oh they have different things. Don't come and start wasting time and start thinking that's the essence of this practice. Don't come and start wasting time and start thinking, oh, is fit big more than yard or this one more than this one. If you do that, you are going to be wasting the time you are going to be using for other questions instead of you to go through your question quick. Yeah, you can finish and then come back and start thinking about that if you have time. But make sure you pick the one that you feel okay based on the existing knowledge on what you can on what you know at hand. Just pick your answer and move on. Because if you dwell on it, you are wasting time and you are risking not finishing the other questions. So I may fail this one. So in my exam, this is what I'll pick because based on the knowledge I have, like I see that in terms of monetary term, this one is more expensive, but I do not know what makes up a square foot. Sorry. So let's submit. Okay, we actually correct. So but that's because I would just choose what I know at the moment. But in exam, if you come across something that you are not aware, like oh, don't dwell on it. It's better you fail one, even if you have to fail, than risk not answering three or not doing three or other questions remaining very well just because of one, because you are going to be rushing at because you have wasted time trying to figure out the other ones. So let's go to part three. Mm, let's do this one. I used to take somebody to go and do sculpting in this Canada. So they like art actually. Very like they like art. So I like to do something I see around. That's why you don't see me looking at those other things that are not something I'm not familiar with. Because in exam and people that have written, if I ask them what topic did they give you, they will tell me a topic that is similar to something I see around Canada. So ice sculpting. Okay, let's go through. So, like I did in the first one, I don't know, many people are just joining us. Like I did in the first one, I'm going to also go through the first line of each one just to have an idea. That's what is called skimming. Ice sculpting, an art from the an art form that transforms frozen water into intricate designs, has a rich history dating back thousands of years. So for me, I did not bring a paper. I don't like using my workbook. Okay, let me use this. So I will just write paragraph A. That place is going to be talking about like history. So the science behind history or description, sorry. So I'm not writing description in full. I always write DESC. So just so that, okay, that place is talking about description or the history. The science behind ice sculpting involve understanding the unique properties of frozen water. Okay. B, science, and then property. I'm not writing all of this in full. SCI and properties. So that one I just use longhand. That's because in exam, why I do this, it will remind you of what each paragraph is discussing. And always know that in your exam, one paragraph can be this paragraph A will be A and B joined together. That's the length. So you do not have time to be reading everything. So, but you need to understand what are they going to be discussing under each paragraph. So you know where to locate your questions. So C, modern ice sculpting has evolved significantly with the advent of new tools and technology. So C, modern, they are discussing the modern techniques. So that's enough. The temperature, sometimes it's not necessarily what I see here that I'm going to write. Like when I said description here, they did not write description, but I know that, okay, ice sculpting, an act of, I see that, okay, they are trying to explain the meaning. So that's why I pick description. So it's not necessarily what you see in your sentence that you would use to know what they are discussing about, because sometimes if you pick one word there, it might actually be confusing. So you need to make sure when you read it, understand what is going on in this sentence. As I read it, I understand that here they are trying to describe what ice sculpting means. So that's why I put description or history. It's not because I saw this history here. Why the reason why, even if they didn't put history here, because they said dated years, thousands of years, like, so I know, okay, they're going to be giving like the history and also like the description of what ice sculpting is in the whole of this paragraph. So for this one, the science of is understanding unique properties of properties, like what is science, okay, put together like this science is enough to capture what is discussed here. That was why I picked science as my keyword to identify that paragraph. For this one, modern ice sculpting is okay, has evolved significantly. If you are joining us, if you have been joining us like in the class, you see that most of, or you have been studying with Celpip, you see that most times like the paragraphs a paragraph will always talk about like modern technique of something or the new ways of doing a particular topic that is being discussed. So here I'm okay with using the modern because they are going to be talking about how it has changed over time. So modern techniques evolution. So it's like how it has changed, how sculpting has changed over time to the new techniques that is being used in place. So when you read that first sentence, make sure you understand it. So do it during practice. So it will give you an understanding of what they are going to be talking about in the whole of that paragraph. So you don't have to be reading them because you do not have that time. So, and if you are only able to read by all of this, now you know that I'm only reading 4 sentences in, even in exam, I will read just 4 sentences, and you should be able to complete reading 4 sentences in what's it called? You should be able to finish reading 4 sentences in less than 1 minute. So if you know that you are not able to go and practice on learning how to read your sentences, these 4 sentences, you should be able to finish reading it in less than 1 minute or at most 1 minute. You should have gone through. The temporary nature of ice sculpture presents a unique challenges and opportunities for artists. Okay, I'll just say challenges, pro and con, pro and con, like challenges, disadvantage, opportunity, and this thing. So it's fine. That's what I would pick here, the pro and the cons for artists. So that's what is in my D. So here I have history A, paragraph A. I know it's history and description. Paragraph B, science and property. C is modern and I just put EVO, like evolution, how it has changed. Then D, I know they are going to be talking about advantage or disadvantage, or no, challenges and opportunities, or pros and cons, or something like that. So that's what they are going to be talking about here in all of these things. So, and then we have not giving. And remember the various scenario that we have for not giving. Not giving, it must be the verb thing. If it does not mean the same thing, even if like some of the key is not giving, it must be doing the same thing. And if it's not giving at all, it's so read your word and then also identify extreme words. Make sure that those extreme words are actually captured in your. Hopefully, we are going to run into one of those extreme words. We always run anyways. Ice sculpting. Number one, ice sculpting as a practical solution for night fishing. So based on what I said now, which paragraph should we go to first? Because like I said, if in exam you are going up and down looking for your answer, you don't know, you don't have a strategy or during your practice, because before, let me not talk, exam is so, it's far. You shouldn't, yeah, you should know where to go to. You will decide, okay, I'm going to go to A, and you go there because based on your understanding of the paragraph, that is where it's going to be. If it's not there, then there is no point moving up and down. It's E. You select not given. So yeah, based on this now, it's originated from as A. So somebody said A, exactly. Two people already said A. Yeah. Who said D and why 3 people said D? D, remember D is talking about opportunities and challenges. Remember D is talking about opportunities and challenges. And this place here now is talking about originator. If you ask me, it has to do with history or even like, or trying to describe the history, how it originated, right? So we'll now go to make sure that it is used in that same way. So originated as a practical solution for night fishing. So you would use night fishing is my keyword. So when you pick your keyword now, you're not going to start reading it one after the other. You're going to scan. You're going to scan. You're just sometimes, most times I scan with my eye. I'm not reading. I'm not going to be sit down and start reading everything one after the other. So I'm looking for, what's it called? Night fishing, like practical solution. Winter fishing. So, yes, you remember. I don't see night, but I saw winter fishing. So let's see. I don't see night, but I saw winter fishing. So let's read. You will read the sentence to see where is it called? The earliest the earliest documented sculpture appeared in China, 17th century, where fishermen in the northern China would freeze water in bucket to create basic ice lantern. Oh, for winter fishing. Yes, I agree. See lantern. You know what lantern means? So they make it into ice lantern for winter to fish in the winter. Like, so it means they make it into lantern to use it to fish at night. So yes, I agree. It's A. You see how you have to read for meaning. They use it as a practical solution for night. So they for night fishing. So they use it as lantern, like when they are fishing at night to see the road or something. So it doesn't mean for. So you see, so you have to read for meaning. Lantern. ice lantern. So that ice lantern is the solution that they created for fishing at night in the winter. So yeah, I agree. Then the freezing process for sculptural acts for sculptural ice block requires constant movement. I was reading here. The fishing process for sculptural ice block requires constant movement. So if I were you, where would you like if you were in exam and you see this, where would you go? Like you have the part A, you already have is talking about history. Part B, we talk about like the science and the properties that has to do with it. Then C, modern, like that have evolved. D, pros and cons. So which one you will go to? Exactly, people said B on TikTok, I think. So I will go to B because this freezing process has to do with like the science behind it, or exactly the properties that it has to go through for sculptural art require constant movement. So there we are going to go look at it. The freezing process for sculptural ice block requires constant movement. My keyword is movement and constant movement. Ice block. Ice block. So if I have to be looking for something changing, okay, so see, I see constantly circulating water, but uh, so immediately you see how sorry, I was scanning with my eye. I wasn't using showing you people with my mouse, but I like I told you, my eye kind of move fast because I don't need to. I'm not reading it at this moment. I'm only trying to find that word. So you see me immediately. I'm just looking quickly, line by line, just to find anything that has to do with the same this word. I know that I'm looking for movement. So I saw it's not enough to see constantly. Constantly, they may say constantly another thing, but circulating means movement. So that was okay. I was now more convinced that okay, I'm in the right place. I will now read that sentence. So I will go. Professional ice carvers typically use. What is TikTok people saying? Please help me to like the life. TikTok is just stressing the hell out of me. Sorry, where am I again? Professional ice carvers typically use blocks. You see that same block, ice block, that are frozen to be crystal clear. Typically use blocks that are specially frozen to be crystal clear, achieved by using purified waters, freezing it from the bottom up while constantly circulating the water. Let me read that sentence again. Okay, yeah. The freezing process. Okay, yeah, the freezing process. So yeah, I agree. They just for sculptural ice block requires constant movement while constantly circulating the water. Yeah, they purify and freezing it from bottom up while constantly circulating. This is where your answer lies. So yes, I agree. That is there. So the next one, modern technology has come. This one is easy for you people to tell me where it is, and then we'll go and confirm. Note that if I ask you to tell me the paragraph, it doesn't mean that is the final answer. Just for me to know that you are not going to go to exam when you see question like this. You're gonna be looking for it where the thing is not lost. You'll be looking for it in A. What are you looking for? You cannot be looking for this question in A for what? You just have to know where to look for if you exact because we already talked about modern. This one I'm not going to ask people. So modern technology has completely replaced traditional ice carving method. So this one, you know that I'm going to C straight up. And if you go to C, you don't need to be moving up and down. You don't need to be moving. If it's not there, it's not there. You pick E. So because this one is easy, I already told you people it's E. So uh you people should tell me which line because I'm the one that is going to. I've been confirming the answer for you guys. You people will also need to confirm it for me. Now, which line do you think this question is in? Or tell me if it's not given. If you read the question, they check out the lines because you people have to practicalize now. Take your keyword in this question, go to paragraph C, which we already know, and let us see and tell me which line. You can tell me this is line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So which line? Tell me which line that your answer lies in. Remember I used to say extreme word in exam, and I told you we always run into it. So always put it in mind. There is an extreme word in this question. I'm not supposed to tell you now, but I'm going to guide you. I've said it. There's an extreme word in this question. So put that in mind when giving me your answer. Okay. TikTok people have answered. YouTube people, I'm waiting. Have answered. Line 1. So are you people saying that C is correct? So is our C correct? So is C correct? Should I pick C and move on? You two people, should I pick C and move on? Exactly. Thank you, Sheyi. You identified that extreme word. I told you people be careful. I just mentioned it because I already see that people are trying to fail it. Be careful of extreme word. This completely exclude. Remember, okay, maybe so many people are joining us like this one now. I think this is the first time I'm seeing her name. In fact, she should know it's comment before. I used to say exclusively, just like when they say mainly, solely, like things like that. You should be able to know that those words are extreme, and then you should make sure that when you go to your sentence, it must also say that okay, it's completely that thing, it's just that thing, it's exclusively on that thing, especially it's just those extreme words. And here, and what's her name? Sheyi was able completely or exactly that completely is an extreme. So sometimes, yes, you would find the right paragraph, you would find the right sentence, but certain verb or words would now make it E. And for this, the answer is E, even though, yeah, this is the paragraph, but it said has evolved significantly, changed it. Yes, it evolved, but it completely replaced it. Because if you read here now, you say, maybe you prefer incorporated traditional. I just quickly use my eye to also like scan for traditional. Do you understand? And I saw it here. He said, still, because that means many artists still prefer traditional hand carving techniques. That is the modern technique that they talked about here did not completely replace. Some people still prefer completely. And then Mokbelala and Sheyi said no. So I agree with both of them. What's it called? What's the answer again? Sorry. I want to use this opportunity. People on YouTube, please help me to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Use your family members to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Anyway, so let's continue. So you see, always pay attention to this extreme word. I'll continue to. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Yeah, don't worry. At least you know about it now. So when you're priced, always pay attention to extreme word. That's why sometimes you say, you know what you're doing, but sometimes we ignore extreme word and we think that is the same thing. It's not. So look for when you see completely, exclusively, solely, just. There are so many like that. So read your sentences and digest. Make sure you understand your sentences, both your question sentence and the word sentence and the one in your paragraph sentence. So let's move on. Ice sculptures can only be displayed outdoors during winter months. Which paragraph do we go to? Which paragraph do we go to, you guys? My people, which paragraph now? Paragraph D. Okay, someone have answered. So let me put it there. Which line do your answer lie in? I'm not okay. Which answer? What compare? Let's okay. Have you been here since? I'm just noticing you. Then Abibu, are you joining us or you are coming and going? So Which line in paragraph D does our answer lie? It's not enough to just tell me it's paragraph D. You must tell me how do you confirm your answer, because in exam, yes, you already know, but you need to make sure that it's the same, and you quickly go and read there and confirm, okay, this is correct, it's here, and you now pick your answer. So tell me, if you're here, you should be, if you used to join us. The funny thing is that I did not even see familiar names that used to join us weekend. All the people I'm seeing here today commenting are new people. So if you have to learn anything, is how to know exactly where to go and not move up and down. You will not be coming here and joining us and be moving up and down. Yeah, Mokola, I know it's your first time. You and Sheyi, like I've not seen you guys, your name, even polished by Barry. I've not seen the name before. All the familiar people I have not. For is okay. Shisomu, did you make a mistake in what you typed? Okay, yeah. Yeah, you guys are correct on TikTok. Well, Khadija, okay. You said line second to third one. Most cautious only last only a few hours at room temperature. What did the question say? Can only be displayed outside, though they can endure, for few days or weeks in controlled temperature. How do you say is line 2 and 3? Sorry, I don't think it's line 2 and 3. Although that's where your answer lies, but let's break it down now. Line okay, line 6, another one. Let me see. Line 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, during winter months. Okay, your keyword is actually during. I didn't actually identify a keyword displayed outside the winter months. So yeah, winter months. Yeah, that's actually the correct keyword. Oh, thank you, Folly. Yeah, thank you. Yes, you see, always that's another thing. Always identify once you know your paragraph. The next thing, which keyword am I going to use to ask winter month? Like find the. It's not compulsory that it's going to be in the last because all the ones I've been picking has always been in the last this thing. It might be in the middle or somewhere. So it's not so let's read it. It's not compulsory that it will be located in the last part, your keywords. So but it's just coincident that all these ones are in the last word. So for example, showcase remain intact throughout winter months. Now the Harbin Ice Festival in Ghana, for example, showcases mass ice structures intact throughout the winter months, drawing millions of visitors virtually. So are you people now saying, okay, Folly, what did you pick your answer now? Is it there or is not there? I know, like you told me in line. Is it? Are you saying D or it's not given? Because based on these two lines, if I go with this, most I only ask last. This one said last, but this one is talking about display. So I'll go with more of showcase. Massive arc, but it's not the same. They're not can only ice sculpture can only be displayed outdoors. Can this is an extreme word, can only outdoors, but showcases as ice structure that remain intact throughout. They didn't tell us if it's outdoors that they display it though, based on this one. But even if you go with this one, they mentioned that it can only last and they didn't talk about display. So either way is not anywhere in this particular passage. So it's E. But this is the right place. You see how after we look here, I'm not going to go and it's not there because some people now, as you look there, you did not see it. If you not see it, you not start from the beginning again. You think that I'm doing something wrong. You not start moving up and down again. And at that time, you not think, okay, I'm getting panicking. When you are not supposed to be panicking, you are supposed to be calm. Know where to look and know the keyword to use. You go to the right place. If it's not there, you click your D or any option or D, depending. If it's there, you pick it and move on. If it's not there, don't panic because it's not there. But once you know that that's the right place and it's not there, it's not there, pick it and move on. If at all you now finish and still have time, because the goal is for you to finish on time. If at all is you finish. If there is anyone you have doubt on, it's better you now go back after you have finished and have time than rushing through the rest of your answer and now rush and you're not doing a good job in checking your answers thoroughly. So Chinese royalty were among the first to appreciate decorative eye sculptures. Which paragraph do you people want me to go to? Based on this thing, Chinese royalty were among the first to appreciate decorative eye sculptures. I do join on TikTok. Oh, okay. Okay. Published by Barry. I don't know your name on TikTok. Do you used to comment before? Which name do you used to comment on TikTok before? Okay, okay. These people, TikTok people said A, which I agree because they said Chinese royalty were among the first. If you see among the first, like it's talking about it's something that has to do with history. So if I'm the one, I will go straight to A. That's how you know. Then you now go and confirm Chinese royalty. Then know that this one is first. It must be that the first. They may say something. Oh, if they say if you come to the sentence and they tell you Chinese royalty appreciate decorative eyes, you know that it's not the same thing. It must also tell you or mean the same thing that they are the first. So let's go and confirm. Okay, you guys should go and confirm and tell me the line. You said D. Okay, when we finish, if you can't confirm, I'll go to your own door. For me, if I'm the one, I will first go to D, A, because it has to do with first initial. Like if you think about the meaning of the sentence you read, you're the first. Like if they're talking about you're the first to appreciate something, that means it has to be in the history. So appeared in China. Which line? Okay, okay, said line. So it's not. Don't cry, baby. Don't cry. You have been doing well, really. Like you're actually doing well. I agree with people that said A, but the line they said where the answer is where I don't agree. They're saying, see the word like are the first people to appreciate decorative eyes sculptures, and this is where I'm going to. And Chinese royalty is my keyword. So when I see Chinese royalty, you know that you are thinking about royalty. The first thing when I was scanning, immediately when I wasn't using my mobile, I was scanning when I told people to run. If you used to watch all those movies, you remember Imperial Court is their royalty house. So immediately I told Royal Court, I told you the keyword to actually use Chinese royalty. Royal Court, Imperial Court is their royalty. So immediately I go there and read the sentence. So let's read the sentence from the beginning. This practical innovation gradually evolved into decorative pieces, particularly during the Tang Dynasty when oh, it's blurry. Okay, hopefully I don't forget what we picked. Let me reload it. And sorry, YouTube people, TikTok said it's blurry. I think we picked A here, right? We picked B here. We picked E here, right? And then we are in sure. Okay, yeah. So let me continue. So I'll read. This practical innovation gradually evolved into decorative pieces dynasty when elaborate began appearing at the imperial court. Where did he say it was? Okay, let me see. Okay, the earliest documented sculpture. Okay, appeared in China. Okay, line 3. Appeared the first. Okay, the earliest, which is the first, and they now continued. Okay, ice sculpture was documented. But then, if you prolong, this practically evolved. Okay, reading through it, this is where they talked about um Chinese royalty part. So okay, yes, okay, this part, and yes, the royalty is the confusion. Yes, because okay, so this place talked about that the first to appear, the first appreciated, the earliest, which is the first, the earliest is the first documented. The earliest documented ice sculpture appeared in China during the 7th century, where fisherman freeze kinikon here. Fine. Then this practical, they are still talking about it. This practical innovation by this thing where they freeze ice, this practical innovation gradually evolved into decorative pieces, particularly during the Tang Dynasty when elaborate ice sculpture began appearing at imperial court banquet. That is them appreciating it, that it now began appearing in the imperial court when elaborate, like it's like a continuation, like they continued it in a long distance. Yeah, so I agree. Everything in this paragraph from here was just talking about how it came, the first came about, and then how they are being appreciated by the Chinese royalty, which is the imperial court. If you know to watch Chinese, I know I don't watch movies again, but then when I was still younger, when we used to watch all those Korean and Chinese movies, they call their court Asians, they call it imperial court. The temperature of sculpting ice must be maintained below. We need to finish by 3. Oh. The temperature of sculpting ice must be maintained below freezing point. You guys will know this one. Oh. It should not even stress you. Which paragraph? Which paragraph now, my people? Shay, B. Mopelola, yes, B. Thank you. Fola, why did you say D? Is it for Fola? Because I assume your Folly is Fola. Folly. This temperature, D, remember that is talking about pros and cons, like challenges and opportunities of what's it called, of ice sculpture, nature of. But this question is talking about the scientific reason, is how many needs temperature, the properties. You remember when we read about it, and I told you that here I will put science or properties. So if I'm the one, like based on what I have, so that's why, if at all, maybe but if you are answering the question, immediately you look at your book. So where will it be? Where did I write? I wrote science in B. I'll quickly go to B and search. And then pure water. The understanding involve properties of frozen water. Okay, sorry, you guys should tell me the line, but I was also saying the measure of maintaining sculpting ice must be maintained below freezing point. Okay, this is it here. I've answered it, so no point. I'll you go answer the next one. But must and often are conflicting. What is it? Must be. Okay, pure water. Okay, yes. Okay. Mm, the temperature of sculpting ice must be maintained below freezing point. Pure water freezes at 0 degree, okay. But sculptors often work with ice that is slightly below the temperature to ensure stability. Yeah, must be maintained. Those ensure stability. I yeah, must. I think I agree with you, but another reason why uh Most is an extreme word, but I often work with below. Okay, I think I will go with what's this paragraph B. The reason why I'm going to go with B is if you read this sentence now, the way they explained this, and they said the science behind ice sculpting involve understanding unique properties of frozen water. So they then began with explaining what frozen water is for you. The pure water, like this, the pure water normally, like they said, it freezes at 0 degree, but sculptors often work ice with ice that is slightly below this temperature to ensure stability. I don't know if like how do I say what my brain is telling me. I'm trying to find the right word to use to explain what my brain is telling me right now. Like this one is just like, oh, trying to explain to you, oh, what's normal, the frozen water, oh, this freezes at this thing. But when they now want to sculpt, they need it to be below, although they didn't use must, but often work with for sculpting purpose. You have to work. It means that for sculpture, like, okay, for sculpture or for sculpting, okay, yeah, for sculpting, you would often work with you would have to work with eyes that is, if you want to, if you want it, if you want whatever you are doing to have stability, then you have to work with eyes below that this thing. So the temperature for sculpting, exactly. For sculpting purpose, you have to work with that this thing. And that's why I'm picking it. I might be wrong. Although it's an extreme word, and like it's nice that you catch it, but reading how it started also like helped me like make a different decision. Mostly, exactly, they mostly work with, because that is, and then another thing, to ensure stability, like to make sure like it doesn't, it means like, okay, they can work with one below, but if they want to, like, the actual act of the temperature for sculpting must be maintained. Like if they want to like actually ensure like, okay, whatever they do is durable, they will have to go with one below that temperature. That's how I see it. That's the angle I see it, but we may fail it anyway. So, but if you know that it's a good thing that you identify this must, which is but reading the sentence, like the whole sentence, or sometimes how where it started from, where the story started from. If you notice one thing with this whole paragraph that we are reading now, I don't know if this one, you see that some of the answers merges two different sentence from different. You have to like transition from one to like get um the full question that you were asked. So anyway, let's continue and see if we fail it or not. Then ice sculpture have become larger and more detailed over time. This one, which paragraph would you go to? Over time. Which paragraph will you guys go to for this one? Please drop your answer. Let me pick up my water bottle. Oh, my water bottle should be in my work bag. What did you people pick? C. Yes, exactly. Because I said here evolution, like transition, like how it has evolved. So they say high sculpture has become larger and more detailed over time. So which answer? Which line in C? Oh, yes, you guys got the correct paragraph. But which line now confirm? Is it which line will make us decide if it's E or if it's C? Um, Mopolola, thank you. Priska, not quite. It's not the first line. Line 3. No, this somebody line 4. You guys are going to you're going okay. Yes, this is actually the line. This place that said allowing for more detailed and complex design. I think it started from the sentence started from line 4. Yeah. Yeah, 4 to 5. The person that said it. That's very correct. This technological advances has expanded the possibility of what can be created, allowing for more detailed and complex designs. Mhm. Yeah, and complex design. So yeah, you see what people are doing now. You got the right paragraph, but you are using, like somebody said, it's line 1. If you pick this thing, even if you get it correct, you know that it's not actually correct because it could have been wrong, because that's not the right sentence. Yes, it has significantly, with the advent of new tools and technology. Did you see advent of new tools and technology here? That's not the right sentence. The keyword here. So which keyword, if you are telling me that you picked this line, which keyword did you use to search? Because you know that, okay, is enough that you, it's good. I love that you people are now able to know, okay, this is where we are going to look. We are following in that part. Oh, ice sculpture has become larger and more detailed over time. You know that you see. But keyword that you are looking for is larger and detailed. It's not here now. It's not here. Neither is it in line 3 or line 2. This is where allowing for more details and complex. Complex is like larger, more. So let's go. European ice carving developed independently from Asia. Yeah. I've not seen anything like European. No. Did you people see anything like European and Asian? European. European ice carving developed independently from Asia. Okay, you made sentence 3. Okay, okay. Okay, all right. 8. You guys should, which paragraph should we go to for number 8? Maybe you people should do fast, or you don't want us to do part 4. Do fast so that we can do part 4 and go home. I mean, I need to sleep. I've not eaten lunch, and this is almost 3. Ah, someone said A, so let's go to A. Thank you, Chisom. That's absolutely correct. Yes, because there is European there. Yeah, but it's not saying the same thing. By this, it has spread to, they did not develop independently. It spread from China. China is Asia, right? It spread from China to Russia and northern Europe. So, but it doesn't mean that it didn't develop independently, that is separately from the Asian tradition. No, it spread from Asia to this thing. So yeah, it's not correct. That's totally false. Somebody, you guys are doing well. Make sure you do well like this in your exam. Oh. Although as you are practicing, practice with time. Practice with time. Special venues has been developed to preserve our ice sculpture. Special venue. Which paragraph is this one? To preserve ice sculpture. So this is the last one. I don't want people to waste time. We have 15 minutes. Okay, D, Mopolala, that's correct. But let me explain why I had to go to D. The reason why we have to go to D straight up is when the pros and cons. You know that when I wrote pros and cons, even though I didn't write other things because there is no time for you to be writing long sentence, I know in my mind that it was talking about the nature of ice of this thing, because I put it in my. I forgot to tell you guys then, like, oh, that the pros and cons of what is the pros and cons of what the temporary nature. This nature stuck in my head. Then this nature. So when they said venue, like atmosphere, it just brought me, okay, place. So that's why me, like, I will have to naturally go to D, because you have to, like, okay, if I read this question, where will it lie? Or you can use the elimination too. Oh, this question, it will not lie in the history, it will not lie in, because preservation will not, it will not lie in maybe a modern this thing, it will not lie, it shouldn't be in this one. Okay, let's just check that and check D. You can do it that way too. C or D is good. You can, what's it called, substitute, exactly, you can limit your and quickly run through the two paragraphs to make sure that it is there. But since majority of the people said D, and you too, you said D partially, let's check D first. So has been developed to preserve ice sculpture. So what I want people to, which keywords are we going to use here before you people will start searching? I know you would have started searching now. Which keyword? Let me remove it. Which keyword are you going to use to search? Because that's another thing. Some people don't know the right keyword to use. Which keyword are you going to use to search? Mhm. Developed. Not quite. I agree more with the person that says special venue. Developed is there, but the primary one is special venue. Then developed is the action word. So you must make sure that the action word in that sentence has to be developed, or meaning of developed, or another thing that means developed, synonym. But the main keyword will be special venue, or something similar to it. Then the action word should be developed. So let's go. Oh yeah. Or even preserve is actually like to preserve sculpture. Preserve is actually like a key word too. Well, like you're asking how you know your keyword, right, Chiso? Is that what you mean? Is that what you're asking? Like, okay, like when you read a sentence, you ask yourself, what makes this sentence stand out in this paragraph? For instance, let's use this one now. Ice sculpture. You already know that the whole paragraph is talking about ice sculpture. So ice sculpture can never be your keyword, right? Then has become which word stands out for you? Larger, more detailed. Then, like, over time, it's something you will now put at the back of your mind, like evolution. That's how you. If you look at this one, mm, the temperature is already a keyword, so it's a keyword. And then below freezing point is a key. It might not be a word, it might also like be a phrase. So when you look at something that it shouldn't be something that was talked about all over. You can, ice sculpture, you now start looking for ice sculpture. No, ice sculpture, you will definitely see it all over your paragraph, all over your passage, I mean, and then you will not be confused on exactly where to go. So have you people found this one? But if you read this sentence, not like has led to the development of and display techniques, including refrigerated venue. This thing. Nothing talked about like using it to preserve ice. But if you start it from here, that's why, like, okay, you have to, like, when you read and it's, you know that it should mean the same thing. So they have all this in that these keywords. When I read it, I saw it. I said, okay, yes, but where they needed to preserve. Then what I did in my own case, what I always do is I quickly scan for the scan for preserve in the sentence following or before it. That's how, because when you read it, part of it is there. To make sure that it's completely there, I scan around it for a keyword that is important, because this preserve too is also like important. I mentioned it, like it's also an important part. So I was like, okay, yeah, this special venue, I have found it, like the development of special venue is there. But why they develop it is, they told us why. So make sure that your whatever you're looking for is complete in your in your paragraph. So I was like, okay, yes, that special venues have been developed, which is covered here. But why? Like to preserve ice sculpture is not here in this particular sentence. Then I go a little back and see where they said most sculptures only last few hours at room temperature, though they can endure a few days in controlled environment. This so because of the fact, so this is not telling you that because of the fact that they don't last long, they now that led to the development of the specialized venue. Did you see it? So yes, the answer is D. But make sure like you captured that when you are confirming, you captured all the places where like all the sentences that captured your question. So your question was captured from here to this place in order to preserve it. That's why they developed this venue and they listed the venues in example. So this is it. So we will submit and move to D, hopefully. So even that one, what's that one that that said that's the one that said often and mostly. So you see how like two sometimes you need to confirm, you have to read the words before or the sentences before you. So when you read your sentence and what you're seeing in your passage did not capture it, also like try to look a little above and a little below to see that okay, are they not entirely not captured? Because you can see that most of the question we answered here matched meshed matched two what's it called two two sentences together to give you what is in the question. So we have been doing great for today. Hopefully we don't fuck up. We don't. Let's do right hearing. Oh, we have actually done. I can't even remember when I did it, but I wanted to do right sharing because people share ride a lot, like traveling to different cities, not to school. Let me see. Is there something? I don't know. I'll just pick anyone. I'm already hungry. The self checkout. Let's do self checkout. Most grocery stores have self checkout. So let's read. Again, just first line. When Marjorie Hendricks, a retired accountant from Vancouver, approached the grinning row of self-checkout kiosk at her local supermarket, she found herself confronted with increasingly ubiquitous phenomenon that has fundamentally this is a long sentence, so that has fundamentally transformed contemporary retail landscape. Proponent of this technological shift contend that self-checkout system affords customers unprecedented autonomy over their shopping experience. Um, Nevertheless, skeptics harbor substantive reservation regarding the underlying motivation preparing this transition. The experiential dimension of this transformation warrants consideration as well. Okay. Store manager creating Morio acknowledges the complexity inherent in balancing operational efficiency with customer sentiment. And that is me. I've gone through my passage within 1 minute, my whole passage. And like I always say, when you finish here, the first thing you should ask yourself, who is in support, who is against, who is sharing a balanced approach. I know here for the first line, we didn't really read somebody's name in those first line, but know that when you read this sentence, this passage, know the passage that will be talking, because all of them are organized in passage. This passage is going to be talking about like supporting self checkout, because that's where they say proponent of this technology. So if you are not identifying them, at least identify. And then when I read it, before I even went forward, I saw this Theodore. Theodore. I did not see this name, but I saw Theodore, so I know, okay, they have somebody's name following up that. If it was in my exam, even though when I read the first line, I know that, okay, this place is talking about uh, okay, the English is big. We are coming to that. When I read that first line that is long, I said I was going, and we are coming to that, and we are going to come. So I'm just trying to explain the first thing that it should be at the back of your mind in this part of Celpip part 4, is you knowing the paragraph and the person that talked about a in support, that is in support, that is, this is the proponent. When you see proponent, you already know it's in support. But if you did not see it, if you read the sentence, it will tell you, or it will just tell you, okay, this person is arguing in support. Then this one, skeptic, is like people that did not support, like the nation. This one talks about it, and then I look further and I see the name of one of the people like in that school of thought. So this place is like more like an extension of reading. This person is Hendrik. Remember that this person, the person that this thing, the whole passage is all about. He's not a proponent. He's not like, it was his experience, be her experience. I think Marjorie is a female. Marjorie is a female. So Hendrik, like this is still like talking about Marjorie's experience, but this person is the person that shares a balanced approach. So when you are reading, make sure as you are reading, you are understanding each paragraph, how it's organized. You see how I'm able to like figure this out. I said, okay, I read this place. That's when I ran this conversation, because immediately I reached here, immediately I remember that, okay, the first person, the person that was talking about her experience when she reached a retail store is Hendrik. So I know that this place is not anybody, that is in support or against, but this is a place where we have a balanced approach in balancing operational efficiency with customer sentiment. So understand it with limited time is the issue. How is the issue? Another thing, like once you read, if you see proponent, just focus on one word now. Like for this part, this person, proponent is when you read the sentence, you should know, okay, this is a support. Don't even like, okay, waste time to try to for here. Just the first thing is for you to capture, is this person in support, so that when you read an idea of the organization of the passage, and you should know where to trace your first thing. Like it helps with your time management, knowing where to trace your question to time management skill. And also sometimes you can even like predict what the person is even likely to support even before you go and confirm it, because you already understand that, okay, since he's in support, he can never say something against, right? So for this long sentence that we read, for me, ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. I don't know the meaning, and I'm going to ignore it in the exam. Like I said, when you see big word, don't focus on the word that you know. When I see this thing, if I want to read this, I will go. If I read it, I'm going to be focusing on the word that I know. When Marjorie Henry, a retired accountant from Vancouver, approached the, you don't need to know what blaming means, but you know that the rows of self-checkout kiosk at her local supermarket, she found herself confronted with an increasing, I don't know what this means, and I'm not going to dwell on it, an increasing phenomenon that has fundamentally, you know what fundamentally mean, like basically, that has basically transformed the contemporary retail, that all this thing, even leave this contemporary is like new, modern, but that has, for if you leave even this fundamentally, leave it, that has transformed the retail landscape. You understand it, it gives you, you already know what she's talking about. So let's leave all those things out again and read. When Marjorie Hendry, a retired accountant from Vancouver, approached the rows of self-checkout kiosks at her local supermarket, she found herself confronted with an increasingly phenomenon that has transformed the retail landscape, that has transformed the store. Basically, that's what they are telling you. That she find herself, okay, when like that changed the landscape, that the how the shop is organized, the shape of the store, the landscape. You know what landscape means? Portrait and landscape. Can you how the shop is organized? Anyways, that's the landscape, the retail landscape. Anyways, that's just it. That's how you tackle when you see big, big word. Don't be just laugh and focus on the one you know. So this um article mainly discusses the technological innovation transforming grocery retail. Why am I reading one like this? See the way I was reading it one. This article mainly discusses the technological innovation transforming grocery retail operation, conflicting perspective on the expansion of automated retail services. Thank you. Abi o, consumer resistance to the modernization in the shopping experience. Mm. The economic advantage of implementing self-service terminal. So which one is our answer? You guys, time is ticking, time is ticking, time is ticking. A or B or C or D. Which one? This one hard though. Ah, some of you will say set SPP is simple. Now you see hard one. You say that will prepare you for this thing. You're having different responses. Why are we having different responses? Cranes, welcome. This is you are just coming. Yeah, when we are almost ending. Where have you been? Ah, you people are just speaking different things. Precious, you're welcome. I'm just seeing your name for the first time. I don't know if you are just joining. Okay. English too much. Now I'm going to ask people that said A, why did you pick A? Because now I normally don't ask that in this part, but I need to understand why we have different parts. Different everybody is picking different things. Somebody say A or B. In the exam, you have to pick one. If you tell me, okay, if you're telling me A, tell me why you are picking A because why people picking different things? Like I read all this to you and I have taken my time to explain everything. You people should be able to answer it. So people that picked A, who are they? Mopolola picked A. Sheyi, okay, even sorry. Frances, I said I'm really hungry. Why did you people pick A? Because now I need to understand why you picked A. Okay, okay, you go. The person that picked A and B have settled for B. Okay. Mhm. Okay, B, B is the final answer. That is now who wants to be a millionaire. You want to go and play in the exam. Okay, you have moved to B. Tell me why you picked B too. Let me see. TikTok people. A due to its transformation. Okay. Mm, this is so funny. But anyways, the people that picked B, why did you pick B before I answer? And somebody picked another pick C. Claims said C. Why did you pick C? The people have told me it's because of transformation. Why many people have migrated to B? Since you migrated, you tell me why you migrated to B. I chose B because different. Thank you. Thank you, Bola. No, Khadija, yes. Yes, exactly. Because yes, why this place is talking about transforming remember that this one is transform the landscape. It's talking about like the change in the landscape, but this one is talking about like the grocery operation. But however, anyways, but that's not like it's a technology innovation, fine. But this one, like your what the passage is all about, when they ask you what the article is all about, it has to be with what they talked about from beginning and from the beginning to the end is different people talking and different people. That means some people are in support, some people are against, some people are in the middle term. So that means they are having conflicting opinions, conflicting perspective, conflicting views. That's the meaning. In exam you might see conflicting views, conflicting opinion, conflicting or different views, different opinion, different. But just know that this part 4 is always like different perspective and views. Yeah, so this is it.
I know this one, the person that shoot this one may say shopping experience because of the but it's not correct. They are not, they didn't tell us, we don't know anything. The whole passage is not telling us anything about consumers resistance. And yeah, it's about shopping and self checkout. Crimes, it's about shopping and self checkout. However, it's more like the whole passage is talked about someone's experience, that first experience, that's the second paragraph is talking about the supporter of that change, that is of the innovation. What those people against it is saying that is people's perspective, different people's opinion. So even mostly whenever this question is always number one question in part four, or number five question here. So whenever you see, you know that is anything that has to do with perspective, views, opinion, because that's how it is organized. And what's the name of this passage? Reading for viewpoints. That's, you are reading for different people's viewpoints. So it will not be like viewpoints on the topic now, the expression of the, but that is the most accurate. Like, is conflicting perspective, because all of them, they don't support the same thing. They can never support the same thing in any part, in any Celpip exam, in any material you see. They can never support the same thing. They will always have different people going for different viewpoints. Theodore Vask's comment: support the self checkout. Oh, suggest that self checkout technology primarily appeals to shoppers who dash. So we already know that. When I read that, I told you Theodore is the supporter. So, and that's why I told you identify who, because they will call that person's name and tell you. So already you know where the person is. If you don't go and see this person's name now, you're searching all over the book. But if you know that, okay, who is in support, when I finish reading this, they say proponent, which name is there, you quickly identify a name of the proponent, even if you're not there. So Theodora, you already know where to go to, so that you know where to. That's how you manage time. Knowing exactly where to go to straight is how you manage time in Celpip. So let's go. Let me read the question again. Theodore Vask com- Vask comment suggests that self-checkout self-checkout technology appeals to shoppers who seek opportunities for meaningful social engagement, distrust the reliability human operated transaction, favors efficiency over conversational exchanges, belong predominantly to older demographics. So which answer? This one, big English full here, true today. Yeah, well. So big English is, but you should not take all the time. You only have 1 minute, even if big English is there. Focus on the words you know in the sentence, and ignore the big English you don't know. Uh-uh. Okay. What did you pick? Frances, what did you pick? Creme. So yeah, what did you pick? But Khadija has picked. Please help me to like my life. Oh, Sheyi pick C. Sheyi, is this question you pick C for, right? But okay, Khadija has picked another one. You see how long you people picked. You think in exam you have 2 minutes to be picking your answer. Mm. Anyways, TikTok people, nobody has picked anything. You people, well done, no. But I'll go with people that pick C. Yeah. So He said that suggests that self-checkout primarily appeals to shoppers who favors efficiency over conversational exchange. So if you go here, I think I saw it somewhere here. It's not that mind where you see social exchange. The like it's continuation of it, but primarily they said mm, this terminal cater to consumer who prioritize, you see, appeal, who prioritize expedience, that is efficiency is like speed, like expedient, they want to do quick, above interpersonal interaction. That's conversational exchanges, that interpersonal interaction. So if you even read further, you now understand what they mean. But normally, yeah, uh-uh. Folly, you're just okay. Are you joining and leaving? Priya Sham Priya implies that corporation introducing automated checkouts are Priya is who was what's Priya's view? You people already know. Let me know because there is no time. Priya is the person that is having that against, that is the person, the skeptics. So you see her name. So let's see. In exam, nobody will show you where. That's why I told you identify who is against you and note them. You can note their name down if it will help you remember. You don't need to write all their full name. You can write pre or priya fast. If you like longhand like me, if it will help you, but you should be able to put it in your head who is against and in support. Employers corporation introducing automated checkouts are genuinely responding to evolving customer preferences, disguising cost-cutting measures as customers benefit, inadvertently creating more specialized employment opportunity, underestimating the complexity of retail modernization. I've not go and look, but I already have my guess on what the answer will be based on my understanding them. But anyways, you just go. Ah, is it because I've not said you put drop answer? Everybody have drop answer. Let me read the question again in case people not see. Dr. Priya implies that corporations introducing automated checkouts are is blurry. Okay, let me reload it. We picked this. Reload. Uh, Dr. Priya implies that corporations introducing automated checkouts are yeah. Okay, sorry. This is oh let me open the options for you. It's still blurry. Ha. TikTok people, is it blurry? Oh, it's still okay. I don't know what's going on. No. Maybe he wants to call it a day. And you people, we really need to finish this one because you people, the way you people, you people need to finish this question. Blurry, you two people. Okay, let me open the options now. Let me read the question. Dr. Priya implies that corporations introducing automated checkouts are B or C? B or C? Hmm. Okay. Pick one. Pick one. What's your final answer? Somebody said, ah, ah. Everybody has different answer. You people have almost used all the options as the answer. Voila. So let's use elimination now. When you are faced with, that's I want to show you, like, when you are faced with question that you are finding it difficult to pick the answer, you use elimination. Now you already know that this person is against the self checkout. He's like skeptic, the person that is not wary about um what's it called, of the introduction of self checkout. So now let's start with A. If somebody is against something, do you think, I'm talking about the person that picked A, do you think the person is saying that that the person's argument will be that corporation is introducing self checkout because they are genuinely responding to evolving consumers preferences? I don't think so. If somebody is saying, okay, no, they want to, they are not genuinely. If I'm being skeptical about something, I will not feel like that. But anything I'm skeptical about, that means that person has ulterior motive. So I would eliminate this answer. Then the next one, these people picks B. So if I'm like, that means like, okay, I'm skeptical about something, because skeptic means you're skeptical about something, you are doubting something. Means they are disguising, cut cutting cost cutting measures as customers benefit. This can stay for now. We have not read up the option. We have not read up the option. This can be a reason. Yes, like I'm skeptical because those corporations are they are disguising the fact that they are cutting costs as as if they are doing, that is, they are doing something that is beneficial to customers. So this can stay first. Let's complete the option to make sure that everything fits in. So if you are being like skeptical, like the way people have taken forever to figure out the answer in exam, you don't have that forever. Once you have used in the first 30 seconds, you have not picked your answer, use elimination to eliminate and see the last one that will be standing. Then the third one, inadvertently 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 creating more specialized employment opportunities. Do you people think, although, like, see here, I know like a lot of people now will say she emphasizes that retail store uh retail store worker disproportionate disproportionately comprise individual individuals for whom alternative employment prospects remain exceedingly limited. So this one too is eliminated, right? And this one, then, if someone is against introducing automatic checkouts, is underestimating the complexity of retail modernization. I don't think this one is even an option. So in this case, you go with the one. Which one do we, now that we have used elimination, which one do you people think is now the more one that sounds more logical for somebody that is skeptical about the introduction of this? This is how, like, you answer like questions like this. Yeah. So we move on. Many people have gone. Me sef, I want to go soon. No hunger wire me. You people, no lunch for me today. Marjorie Hendrick will likely agree that traditional checkout interactions dash we are inefficient. Sorry, okay, let me read the options. I have gone to start looking for my answers. We are inefficient. Okay, would likely agree that traditional checkout interaction were inefficient compared to the contemporary alternative. Fostered connections, extending beyond commercial transaction, discourage customer from returning to establishment. were preferred exclusively by elderly patrons. So you guys pick. Oh, Frances, is this one that you pick now, right? Frances, I don't know why I keep calling you Frances. Am I? Is it Frances? Is it this one that you pick B now? Yes. Okay. Okay. So people have picked B, and I think that is the one that is most suited. And if you check here, like where he said, erosion of connection that accompany traditional checkup, checkout transaction. Those brief from conversation with familiar cashiers constituted more than mere transactional exchanges. They represented genuine human contact. So you cannot say inefficient compared to, and then discourage customers from returning to establishment. They didn't say that. Nothing was mentioned about the elderly patrons, and elderly patrons will not even want to go to self checkout. They will want to go to cashier to attend to them. So this is this. It fostered connection, extending, like that connection is the fact that they interact with the cashier. That 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 is more than mere transactional exchange, which means beyond commercial transactions. They're extending beyond commercial transactions. So let's read. Clayton Mirror acknowledges that infrastructural decisions at retail establishments are predominantly shaped by dash. This is the person that shared a balanced perspective. You people should drop answer before I come back. Sorry, I'm too hungry. Okay, you guys picked. Hmm? Please like my life. They said they're having activity. TikTok people, please. So this one, it says Clayton Muriel acknowledges the infrastructural decision at retail store predominantly shaped by. Where do people see survey that you are answering? Customer satisfaction survey and feedback. Okay. Many people see survey. Why are you people picking 5A? See it here now. Though economic imperative invariably influences our infrastructural decisions. So this is here. They say we endeavor to accommodate diverse preferences. So because if you start it from the beginning, let's start it from the beginning here. Acknowledges the complexity inherent in balancing operational efficiency. This place is talking about with customer sentiment. We endeavor to accommodate diverse preferences, though economic imperative invariably influence our infrastructural decision. So why are people picking customer satisfaction survey and feedback? Hmm?
Yes, they said whether people are not hearing me. I forgot I muted myself. Okay, I did not mute myself. My mic is not even connected since morning, but you can hear me, Abby. So whether the patrons perceive these changes as liberating and alienating ultimately depends upon what they value most in their shopping experience. But that's not, I still don't see why you people, depending on their, talks about it depending on their preference. Which preference? Is it, please, which line? Maybe I'm blind. But this is where influence our infrastructural decisions. Though this is what this question acknowledges the infrastructural decisions at retail establishment. What shapes the infrastructural decisions here is the financial operations and operational necessity. I don't know why you guys are saying A. The answer is this. So another thing, when you pick the person, always consider keywords. I think people are not considering keywords in this question before you pick your answer. Because if you consider keyword, which is infrastructural decision here, for this one, the keyword is traditional checkout interaction. For this one here, corporation introducing automated, like the corporations. So you must also, like, each for this part too, you have to still identify a keyword. Yes, you know where to look, but make sure that this keyword is what they are discussing in whatever they call you, that will pick your, that will influence your answer. Whatever will pick your answer. So let's read. This article resonated with me profoundly. The tension between technological advancement and human employment is dash in the contemporary society. Another big grammar. Why did they give me two big grammar that we don't know? So because of this, we have made two big grammar. Let's find the meaning. No, after we have to fail it. If we fail it, but we still need to look up the meaning just because of exam. Because this grammar now has appeared twice, so we need to know the meaning. So people should pick answer first. Even me, I don't know the meaning. So I'm not saying we don't know it, but we need to know it. That's how I study. When you are practicing, if you find a word you don't know, you look up the meaning. So we still need to look it up. But TikTok people did not like my life and they have ended my life. So you two people, what did you pick? Let's pick one and go and look for the meaning of our answer. Me, if I don't know it. But if you ask me, it's unprecedented. So let me see what I would pick. The tension between technological advancement and human is confronted with an increasing. I will pick unprecedented. That's the only word I'm familiar with. Okay, I know exaggerated, but that's not, it doesn't fit in here. But I know people always use, I don't know, unprecedented. But I don't know what ubiquitous means. So I don't know. I will not pick with ubiquitous. I will go with unprecedented. If you ask me in exam. Okay, let me see what people pick. So you people, TikTok people, please like the live. That's why they ended it the other time. Oh. Please like it. That's why they ended it. Eniola, are you just joining? I don't know you're online since. TikTok people, you're going with A. Make person jam this kind of English for example, exactly.
So if in exam, me, I'll go with the devil. I feel the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. I'll go with the angel, the devil that I feel that is more suitable. Is I don't know the meaning because why I did not want to pick you. Yeah, I don't late. I said 1 p.m. now, Mountain Day time. We are just ending. We have been here since the past 1 hour. Almost. We have always almost used 2 hours 30 minutes. I forgot to post it on my page. Maybe I will be remembering to post. But next weekend is going to be Saturday and Sunday, 1 p.m. Mountain Day time. So nothing on Monday because today is a day. That's why I'm here. Anyways, faced with an increasing ubiquitous phenomenon that has fundamentally transferred. So the way they use ubiquitous here, I don't know. That's why like I keep reading. You see me, I go up, I read it in the way they use it here. Would it fit in here? I don't know the meaning of ubiquitous. So when you but the devil you know, I'll move on. But you people, a lot of you picked A. I'll go, okay, we are two that let's vote. But I would pick unprecedented actually. Unprecedented. Detention meeting. So you two people, what did you people pick now so that we can pick one and go? But after that, let's look up the meaning so that for you people in your exam, ubiquitous. And me, say for my knowledge sake, I hope present and appearing, found everywhere. Okay. Yes, this weekend I was busy. Last day and Sunday I was not available, but I said I was going to be available on Monday because we have holiday. I decided to do it on Monday. Daniela. Mm, what's the other word? It's been like this one appearing everywhere. Unprecedented. I don't know. Meaning never done before. For that session, we do know about answering. For this session, how do you go? You're just answering the okay for this particular part. What they ask, read it now. The following complete this section by choosing the best option. What you feel fit in, like when we are young, we used to do fill in the gap. Yeah, this is filling the gap. What do you feel? But the filling the gap is with big grammar, so sometimes it's easy. But this one is with big grammar. Anyways, I think the tension between technology and human is in contemporary society. Somebody said B is exaggerated. No, I don't think it's exaggerated. I'll go with somebody that said A. Khadija said A. Because but the reason I'm going with A is because I've looked up the meaning of this two. So but in exam you don't have the chance to look it up. I don't know the meaning, but it's not unprecedented. Unprecedented means none that we have looked at it. Unprecedented means never done before. They say similarly unequaled, unmatched. Oh, okay. Unprecedented, unequaled, unmatched, unrivaled. Never existed before, never happened before. No, that's not the correct answer. And ubiquitous means it's appearing everywhere. So I think ubiquitous is more fitted here. Hey, but I don't know the meaning. Yeah. So in exam, I would fail this question because I don't know the meaning of. I found Dr. That's Priya. I found Dr. Priya's perspective particularly compelling. Her observation that self-checkout expansion disproportionately affect workers with dash deserves great attention. Let me read that word. Compelling. Her observation that self-checkout disproportionately affect workers with inadequate professional training, restricted alternative perspective, workplace demand, diminished retirement. Thank you, Eniola, for liking the live. You too, TikTok people, please like the live so they will not send us packing again. What do people pick here? Let's answer quick. We are almost using 3 hours today. So mm, the chisom on TikTok. Okay. Yeah, welcome to YouTube. Are you people going to waste the whole time answering this question? Let's use elimination. I told you if people are arguing, let's use elimination. Inadequate. Okay, let's even go there. First of all, this is where he is. He said that leave this inadequate professional training. I'm not sure. Diminished employment for cashiers, many of whom occupy economic precarious position. Then that she emphasized that the retail worker disproportionately comprise individuals for whom alternative employment prospects remain exceedingly limited. So I've showed you where it is now. Oh yeah, pick your answer. Here we go. If you are wasting time. Uh-uh. It's celpip.com. If you want to subscribe, it's not free though. It's a paid website. But if you want to subscribe, you can click on my bio for the 15% discount. I have the link, but you can DM me too. I'll send you the link directly. But the link is also in my bio. Okay, B, exactly. So now that yeah, you have. So meanwhile, VAT seems overly optimistic about the younger shoppers supposedly about what the younger shoppers supposedly want. Not everyone prioritizes speed over genuine interaction. Okay. When Hendrik described what Hendrik described about losing those brief yet meaningful exchanges with familiar faces, opportunity to compare product prices, chances to provide feedback to management, moment of technological frustration, truly en- encapsulate what many communities are experiencing. So this one, you people should pick it. We talked about it, and it's very easy to pick the answer. So yeah. Kemi, thank you so much. Thank you so much. People are wasting time when this one is actually easy. Let me bring it down. They said that seemed overly optimistic about what younger shoppers supposedly want. Not everyone prioritizes speed over genuine interaction. What Kendrick described about losing those. Remember when we talked about Kendrick dash brief yet meaningful interaction with familiar faces, opportunity to compare product prices. See where he talked about where she abi she sorry where she talked about. So you guys, even you see the way they truly encapsulate what many communities are experiencing. You see where she also talked about laments the erosion of community connection. So we'll read here and choose your answer. You maybe next Sunday we are going to do reading. We'll start with number 4. I have seen that you people are already getting a hang of part 3, but this part 4, you people are not getting a hang of it. You are wasting time to pick your answer. We are going to be starting with part 4 next week and go it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. I know that by the time we get to 1, everybody gone. We are not getting it though. So don't worry. I've seen from you people's this thing that you're not getting it. So as I'm reading all these people's name now, like I said, sh- before I even show you people, you should have just gone straight. Even if you can't figure it, I know it's filling the gap, the one that feel, you go straight. Hendrik, where was Hendrik when we discussed it? You can also write down which paragraph A, who is the proponent, who is the person talking there. B, the name of the person, just write one of their name or abbreviate their name. So that when you see, like now that they talked about, Hendrik described most. So knowing those people's name is important because that's what the question, this part is all about. About losing those, even if you can't figure out the answer on what to pick, if you go there and quickly run through, maybe you start it, the introduction of the certain element about the first, here you will figure out what the person the one that she never really mentioned anything about product prices, use the elimination. He didn't, based on this place that he talked about, he didn't mention anything about feedback to management. He was just more particular about connection and exchanges, like. Exactly. That's why I said if you know where what is what, if you know where what, if you had known immediately, you like me, immediately I opened this question, that I read the option. In an exam, I wouldn't have even gone back here. I would have picked because we answered this question here now. It's just that you people, I don't think most of the time the question you answered here also are part of what is here. If you look here, Hendrik will most likely agree with fostered connection, extending beyond commercial connections, beyond commercial transactions. So if you open these questions now, based on what you have picked there on Hendrik's opinion, this place will also tell you like everything here. This is the only one that has to do with connection and exchange. If you look at, where is it again? Traditional interaction. You people are not connecting the question. This is how you connect this thing. You connect this ones, you use it directly to answer this one. So this part, you can use part of this to answer this, and to like, okay, go to the passage to confirm, or sometimes it's just the English that just best fill in the gaps. So because people do not know what, okay, I think another thing you can do is, when I actually told you people like, know who is against support, who is against, you already know those people, right? The next thing is, okay, they are in support, but what is the basis of their argument? The basis of this person's argument, like just one word to identify, but you don't have time to do that when you are skimming, based on when you are answering the question. After you have answered this question, like Theodore now, you already know that the basis of his argument is that it only appeals to those who favors efficiency over exchange. That's the basis of his argument. The basis of Priyer's argument is that the corporations are hiding behind this thing to say that is that they are doing it for customers' benefit, whereas they are just trying to means to cut cost or to reduce. Reducing workforce is about cutting costs. So you will find the basis. So when you have answered the question, you already know the basis. It will help you in answering the need them to answer to complete this part. So I appreciate that Muriel at least consider that Muriel is the person. Muriel, again, you remind yourself, is the person that shares the perspective. Anytime you read name, remind yourself what is the person's perspective, balance, proposal. Okay, the balance. She is saying perspective that concedes. Okay, appreciate Maria's perspective. At least concedes that dash customers' preference are paramount. Traditional method remains superior. Financial factors guide choices. Employees' welfare take precedence. Did I read the last option? Employee welfare take precedence. So you can use elimination too to answer this one. I've left it. Use elimination. Use them because I know this one would be hard again. the end. Another thing is make sure you are whenever you see how I will read that, make sure I read to the end rather than pretending that transformation is purely. So if you pick your option, read the full sentence. So for the people that are very okay, some people are picking a not. I appreciate that Morio at least concedes that customer preference are paramount rather than pretending this transformation is pure. Will he say that customer preference said rather than pretending that they are customer driven? No, it doesn't fit in. So this is cancelled. So someone said C. Go to what the person said. Let's read the C. You put it and you read it together. I appreciate that Muriel at least um consider C, concede that financial factors guide uh guide choices rather than is purely customer driven. Why? Then this person said there is no place that the measure traditional method remains superior. I don't know why. Crimes, why did you pick B? This is but he's somebody that shares a balanced perspective, so he would never say something that one is superior to another. Even forget about traditional perspective, he will never say something is superior to one. So it will be like balance. Make sure that the two factors that they are saying, efficiency and customers, considering the customers and finance that guide them. So you remember how we okay, a lot of you now see. You remember how he you see Muriel, you see I told you that this place will also guide you to answer this question. If you go to Muriel, if you don't want to go back to the sentence, you can go back to the question that I mentioned here. Say, acknowledge that decisions, infrastructural decisions as retail store are predominantly financial consideration and operational necessity. You see, so if you pick this way, the financial consideration, which is financial factors that guide their choices, they said rather pretending that the transformation is purely customer, that they're doing it for customers. But it's so you see, though economic imperative invariably influences our decisions, they say we endeavor to accommodate diverse preferences, that is customers' preferences, although they are shaped. So they although they two ways you can go and confirm your answers. Either going back to the question and see like, okay, if you actually know what you were picking correctly here, know like the active, and then know their topic of as in the and then know what their focus is, like what is their main argument, what their main argument is about. The main argument of this person is the fact that they accommodate customers' preference, but ultimately their decision is influenced by finance, economic imperative, that is financial factors. This person um this person's main discussion is talking about the interaction that has been eroded away. This person's main discussion is this person is against, is a person that is skeptical, but he's talking about like they hide because he is skeptical because they hide behind. So you know, okay, this person is supporting. Why is this supporting? You must know why this person is supporting, why this person is against, why this person is having their own view, why this person is balanced. So that is it. So the last and the final one. Ultimately, retailers must recognize that their pursuit of efficiency shouldn't come at the expense of vulnerable workers, corporate profits, technological progress, operational throughput. What do you guys pick fast? Let's go. So we use 3 hours to do. Well, for vocabulary, Temi, like I said, you can just try your best to improve your vocabulary, but there's actually nothing more you can do. Like you see, it's not all vocabulary I know. I will just read when I we started this one. I don't know if it's this one. I don't know if you're lying when we read this sentence. The grammar was just too much. What I did, I I removed, I ignored all the big grammars there and we read the sentence. When Marjorie Hendricks retired from Vancouver, uh, a retired a retired accountant from Vancouver approached I don't know what this means, approached the role of, I ignore it, approached the role of self-checkout kiosk at her local supermarket. She found herself confronted increasing with an increasingly phenomenon that has even if I live here, that has transformed the contemporary, or you live this one too, that has transformed the retail landscape. If you omit all those ones that will give you issue, you will understand the what's it called, the context, what they are trying to explain. That when she explained, that the fact that the self checkout has changed the look of the store, how the store is organized, the landscape of the retail store. So have you people picked your answer here? Okay, I think you guys have picked. Khadija has picked, which is A, and I do agree. So next week we're going to next week, I don't know, should we do reading on Sunday and do another on Saturday, so that we can continue and do any other one on Sunday. Normally we always do reading on Sunday, but we can do it on Saturday and start with part 4. Let me submit. Or you guys, we should keep it as Sunday. Okay. Yeah, we had all our questions correct today from the part 1 to part 10. So it's good practice, even if we fail one. So, like you see, ignore the words. Although in exam, I would have ultimately, I would have actually failed this or this one, because I didn't know. I would have gone with unprecedented. I failed it, so it would be 9. So it would be like I only missed one in the whole 4 parts. So, anyways, but you see, missing one is better than if in exam, because if I'm pricing alone, I wouldn't be taking time to explain like this. I would have picked the answer and moved on. Missing one and be able to pick the right ones for the other ones is better than dwelling in that one. Maybe you would have used 3 minutes wasting time on it. By the time you now want to move on, you will see that time is now rushing. You now start rushing through the rest, and that is what affects you. Because it's okay to fail one and have the rest of the question correctly than take 3 minutes and pass one and then rush through the rest and fail like 2 or 3, because you're already rushing through time. You did not calm down to finish your questions. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for people that stayed with us from the beginning to the end. Sheyi, Mobelola, you're the one that opened the door today. But Khadija, yes. So see you guys next week, Saturday, 1 p.m. Mountain Day time. That's 8 p.m. Nigerian time. And you allow 1 p.m. Mountain Day time. Okay, Sheyi, you are telling me, you are in 2 places. I didn't know. Like you are actually trying. So with consistent practice, like what you, if there's anything you grab, you just practice it. Put it into practice, But like I said, part 4, which I see that you people have issue. Like I see most of, like you guys did well in the part 3, but this part 4, just know who is support. It's not enough to just know who. You must know the why. That what's their main topic of discussion, what's their main argument, who is against, what is their main argument. Because I know you people, all of you are able to tell me who is against, who is but the way you people have issue is what their argument is about. And don't waste time when you're like, when you open your passage, when you open the passage, don't waste time. I only read the first line. I want to go to my question. Don't waste time trying to say, okay, you have read the first line, you want to figure out their main topic before you go to your question. When you read the question, that you now go back to that passage, that's when you will now identify the main topic of their main argument. If you identify it, please note it in your head, because you will need it to answer the second part, and also to answer the second part of that. Don't do it and forget that you did it. Thank you all for joining. We have 4 minutes left to 4 o'clock here, and see you next week. We'll do reading on Saturday. Let's do reading on Saturday. We'll start with part 4. So join if you can. And practice too. If you have any question you want us to bring it, we can use it to practice too. And bye YouTube people and bye TikTok people. So I can't access the passage. No, it's paid website though, it's not free. But they have free sample one for each part. The first, like this one now. Let me open. Each of the parts, even all these ones. The first question. Okay, let me just click on anyone. The first question on each one is network is very bad now. You know, like this first question is free for each part. This first question, you can do it yet. If your exam is not yet so close, you can do all the free ones. Go to Celpip. They have that their free sample. You can do that one. Thank you, Temi. You can do their free ones too. And I guess there are some free if you don't want to subscribe. But if it's close to your exam, even if you are looking at funds, I would just advise you still do like 1 week this thing and do timed practice. Timed practice can never be overemphasized. Don't let the time you are going to do time practice be in an exam, because you do time practice, you go and do mock exam. This mock exam, don't stand up. Don't stand up until what's it called? Don't stand up until you finish an exam, so that you that pressure of doing. Thank you, Temi. Thank you so much for all the gifts today. So that you get used to what the pressure of time the exam is. You time yourself, sit down that 3 hours that it will take you to write the exam, do it and see how it feels, how you do under pressure. Don't say because you're practicing on your own and you are repeating and you're going back. So there is mock exam. If you need the discount code, just DM me or go to my YouTube, my link, my bio. I have the page, the Celpip page to for the discount. They are no longer using the code, but they are still, they said okay, they can still give my followers like 15% discount. So but it's through the link now. But you can chat me up if you have any other problem you want me to consider. But please, if you're chatting me up, don't come and say hi and go away. Please type all your message so that I can respond it once. It's always tired when I come online, see people say hi, hello, and go away. I don't always have motivation to answer such message. All right, see you guys next week. Bye.